Lewis Hamilton might not like what Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has said about Charles Leclerc. Leclerc suffered engine issues in last weekend's Bahrain Grand Prix, with capitalizing to earn his first victory of the season. Leclerc had begun on pole but finished third for his maiden podium finish. It came in the 21-year-old's second race for Ferrari, having replaced Kimi Räikkönen. Leclerc has been tipped to go on to great things and Wolff, who has seen Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas winning the first two races, believes the youngster will become world champ one day. In Leclerc, "I think we're seeing a young champion in the making who was the emotional winner on Sunday," Wolff said. "He was the fastest man and fastest machine. He got all the cruel side of motor racing and it was our good fortune. He has a good personality. He is a humble young man and he's very fast. The combination between speed, personality and being able to temper your emotions in both directions is a great ingredient. I know that many other drivers who have the lion in them, like he certainly has, would have reacted in a much more controversial way about the third place and would have been angry and would have displayed that. None of that you see with Charles." Leclerc had been expected to play second fiddle to his Ferrari teammate Sebastian Vettel this season. However, the Monaco native has outshone his elder counterpart so far in 2019. And F1 pundit Julian Palmer believes Leclerc is piling the pressure on. "Now with Leclerc, the pressure is going to be so high on Vettel, he's got to cut out these errors," Palmer said. Vettel has always been strong in qualifying, Leclerc did him by 3/10. Again, disclaimer, it's one race and it's race 2 of the season, but it opens the floodgates for more and more questions and criticism when it's a trend that is even increasing from last year. Ferrari are going to be right in the mix. Vettel's got to not think about all the spins he had at the end of last year, 2 races in and he does the same again and the questions just build. Next news: David Coulthard rattles Lewis Hamilton with Sebastian Vettel question. Hamilton comfortably won the Bahrain Grand Prix on Sunday after Charles Leclerc suffered a devastating late power failure. However, the young Ferrari man will take plenty of positives, having outperformed teammate Vettel all weekend. Coulthard told Hamilton that he has never been in the position that Vettel is in relation to the pressure for Leclerc. But the Brit reminded the Channel 4 pundit that he has had some epic battles with fellow Mercedes or McLaren drivers in the past. "Did you not remember what happened in the last race?" Hamilton said. "I don't think you can say I've not been in that position. I have been in that position many of times with Nico Rosberg, and with Jenson Button, and with Valtteri Bottas. It is what it is," Coulthard replied with a joke to lighten the mood. "Now you mention it, you were a bit average," he said. And Hamilton went on to explain that some weekends it is understandable that his teammate could be quicker. "You just have to take the tough with the smooth," Hamilton added. "Of course there are weekends when you are not on it. This is one of my worst circuits. It doesn't suit my drive style with the late braking and you have got all these long straights afterwards so you don't get the exits. It is really, really tricky with the tires in the sand." Next news: Sebastian Vettel quit threat, Ferrari driver sensationally admits he may leave Formula One. The German is skeptical of the regulation changes which may be introduced and is uncertain whether he will continue. Vettel has not had a great start to the season and could only manage 5th in the Bahrain Grand Prix at the weekend. The 31-year-old will definitely race this year and next for Ferrari though. "I'm certain I really want to drive this year and next year, then I don't know what happens to the regulations," he told Nobody Knows so far. "I certainly can't sit here and say, no, I won't leave," just for the sake of being in Formula One. Added, a lot of the values that used to be around, they are only partly around. Formula One is now more a show and a business than a sport. You can say the same probably for other sports, but maybe in other sports it doesn't filter down as much to the actual athlete as much as it does here. There just needs to be a decision about what we want. If we say we are a show, then bring on the show. I feel we are wasting so much time and energy with regulations that are just expensive really for nothing. Vettel is facing a tough challenge this season with Charles Leclerc ready to prove he is on the same level as the former world champion. Leclerc would have taken his first victory in the sport in Bahrain had it not been for an engine problem that allowed to win ahead of Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. Returns with the Chinese Grand Prix between April 12 and 14. Last year's race was won by Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. That will give hope to Max Verstappen, who has finished 3rd and 4th in the opening 2 Grand Prix of the 2019 season. Next news: Lewis Hamilton, F1 chief Ross Brawn makes surprising claim ahead of Chinese GP. Although making a point not to discount the achievements of the veteran drivers on the grid, Brawn highlighted the importance of new drivers for ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. The previous race in Bahrain saw claim his first win of the 2019 season, but it was the breakout race for Charles Leclerc in his Ferrari, which captured Brawn's attention. And he believes the younger generation of drivers that are coming through are the lifeblood for the future of the sport. It's good that Formula One is bringing through a genuinely exciting new generation of drivers, Brawn said in his column for Formula One. Not that we don't like the established stars such as Lewis Hamilton or the veteran Kimi Räikkönen, but new drivers are the sport's lifeblood that help it grow. Hamilton took the victory in Bahrain at the expense of Leclerc, who lost power when his car's hybrid system failed. The 34-year-old British driver went on to take his first win of the year. However, Brawn felt the weekend belonged to the Monegasque driver. Formula One can be a really cruel sport, Brawn said. In Bahrain, after being fastest at almost every stage of the weekend with the exception of a short period after the star Charles Leclerc was living the dream. However, his faulty third doesn't take away from what was a brilliant performance that the talented Monegasque youngster delivered. The way in which he regained the lead after a handful of laps, the skill with which he managed his tires in what was a particularly difficult race due to the blustery sandy conditions, was majestic. Despite the final outcome, this weekend belonged to a very young driver, Charles Leclerc. Brawn, who is a former motorsport engineer and F1 team principal, also praised the performances of McLaren's 19-year-old Lando Norris and Toro Rosso's 23-year-old Alexander Albon. McLaren driver Norris had a particularly good weekend, Brawn said. And on Saturday he made it into Q3 for the second consecutive time. On Sunday he converted that potential into good points, finishing 6th, the team's best result since last year's Australian Grand Prix. In Faenza, the home of Toro Rosso, they are well used to bringing on youngsters, but maybe even they didn't expect Albon to be so well prepared for it. The Thai driver qualified well, in 12th place, and in the race did not put a foot wrong. The next race in the Formula One calendar is the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai on Sunday, April 14th. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.